We're live on Facebook and Multi TV Decoder channel 120 and DSTV channel 278. Ghana works better when we all play our parts. Pay your TV license today, do your part today, and dial star 447 star 333 to pay your TV license. Star 447 star 333 hash to pay your TV license. Cancer Mixture, a solution for your arthritic pain. Discover Cancer Mixture, the breakthrough formula designed to support joint comfort and mobility. Cancer Mixture is formulated to target everyday arthritic pain, helping you move with less stiffness and more ease. Cancer Mixture is clinically crafted ingredients work together to soothe inflamed joints and promote healthy functions. Cancer Mixture is safe, made from natural ingredients you can trust, backed by science and proven in real life. Research about it today with Cancer Mixture. Choose Cancer Mixture for a smoother and more active day because your joints deserve premium care. Don't let your arthritic pain scare you today. Cancer Mixture is the solution. Produced by Trusting Jehovah Clinic in Takwa and available in pharmacy. For bulk purchase, you can contact them in Takwa at 0244-871-862 and in Kaswa at 0245-012-201 and in Okanshi Drug Lane at 0244-683583. Cancer Mixture, a world devoid of sickness. Now, how did you start your day today? I think maybe when I finish, I'll have to share my own. But well, if you haven't had your cup of Mixi Choco, you are truly missing out something. The new rich and new taste and Mixi Choco is crafted to brighten your mornings and keep you refreshed all day long. Everything is in there for you. Just add hot water, stir and enjoy a warm, comforting cup. Now for the coffee lovers, Mixi Choco Mixi has something special for you too. Mixi Coffee delivers a creamy, smooth coffee experience that keeps you energized for your everyday hustle. Honestly, just one sip and you can feel it. And guess what? There is more. Introducing the new delicious Mixi Strawberry, a sweet, exciting addition and more reason you should love Mixi. Start your day right with Mixi and start it well with Mixi. Mixi, kind of hot. When I finish, I'm going to get 1 cup of coffee for myself. So let's get a headlines papers for today. So in the Ghanaian Times newspaper is saying, I'm committed to building better Ghana. President Mahama reflects on December 7, 2024 polls. Yes, so that's President John Mahama over there. And Ghana, Burkina Faso resolved to strengthen bilateral cooperation. An Interior Minister orders probe into alleged assassination attempt on Special Prosecutor Kisi Ejaben. So that's in over there. And on page 4, it's saying vacancy declared in Parliament following court-ordered Pandai rerun. Yes, so Parliament has ordered EC. And the Daily Graphic newspaper is saying portable lab unveiled for basic schools, STEM box to break barriers in science education. And Interior Minister orders probe into Special Prosecutor assassination claim. I think this story is running through. Is a big one for today. And minor loyalty surge across all subsectors. You can find a story on page 13. So this and some other stories you can find in the Daily Graphic newspaper for today. And the Chronicle is saying, Naimo's Galamsey fight suffers major setbacks, logistical constraints, interference by chiefs and politicians cited. Yes, I think they had some investigation. And MIIF accuses some former board members of orchestrating smear campaign. I think, yeah, so that's all we have. So this and some other stories over there. And the Daily Guide newspaper is saying, minority TUC reject utility tariff hike. They had a press conference in Parliament yesterday. And court dismisses Wuntumi's further document request. And give me power and I'll give you jobs, Kennedy Ohene Japan. Saying that on page 3 of the Daily Guide newspaper. So you can find this and some other stories in the Daily Guide newspaper for today. The Daily Satellite is saying, alleged assassination attempt on Special Prosecutor challenge Kisi Ejaben to produce the vehicle. Former OSP employee says amidst suggestion of law breaking by Special Prosecutor. And Parliament informs EC of Pandai seat vacancy 90-day clock starts. So I think campaign is going to start in the constituency very soon. And the business analyst is saying T-bills oversubscribed, as investor confidence rises. You can find a story on page 3 over there. And TUC kicks against utility tariff increase. So they held a press conference yesterday. And Interior Minister orders probe alleged assassination attempts on special prosecutors. As I said earlier, this story is running for today. The Daybreak newspaper is saying Finance Minister tasked MDAs to reduce audit infractions. Yeah, so NSS soldiers in limbo as GAF opens 2025-2026 recruitment. So they have actually opened the portal. You can get the forms at the Ghana Post. I mean, there's no third party getting forms. There's no third party. So you can get the forms at the Ghana Post. So this and some other headlines we have for you today. And Felix Pandapalen is already seated with our guest to delve deeply into the stories for today. Don't go anywhere. Don't miss any of the stories on the headlines for today with Felix Pandapalen. I am Valencia today.
There. Hope you enjoyed breakfast. It's still on here on GTV Breakfast Show. I am Kweku van der Palen, same old Felix. Like I promised you, I'll be bringing you the headline discussions. And today we have a number of issues to look at. We are looking through the electricity and water tariff matter. We'll also look at the notification that Parliament has given the EC on the vacancy in the Kwandai constituency. Well, the seats following the court rerun order. We'll get into that matter as well as others. And don't forget, the Ministry of Interior is calling for a probe into the alleged, assassination attempt on the social prosecutor. We'll look at all those and more right here on Headline Discussions on the GTV Breakfast Show. Hope you're having a good time. My guest today, I'll definitely be joined by the MP for Shifo Hati Mokwa, David T.D. Vondi. I will also have definitely a lawyer, who's Kwesi Boche Jr. He's an NPP communications team member. And we're going to have quite a discussion. I'll definitely also be joined, and he is here. Of course, Solomon Owusu is the communications director, the spokesperson, the United Party. Good morning, Solo.
Good morning, Kwaku. It's been a long time.
I'm telling you.
Yes, and it's good to see you this morning.
Glad to have you as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
We need to flush a lot of things out of the system to pave way for our development. So.
Of course. Anything that is not good has to be flashed out.
Exactly.
But when you go on social media,
yes.
Facebook will ask you, what's on your mind?
Yes.
And I want to act as such.
Yes.
What's on your mind generally? So what's bothering you? Anything? Before we get into
man, we need to... I still don't understand why people have stolen from us as a country and they are walking about freely and rather challenging the status quo. And that is what is on my mind. What is this administration doing to make sure that they recover all looted assets back to the state for our developmental agenda? We are lagging behind, and that is what worries me a lot. If we don't do it, we may not have a country tomorrow. So that is my only concern as a citizen, as a taxpayer of this country, that I don't pay taxes to be misapplied or misused by individuals who have gotten the benefit of leading us just by grace. Nobody in position is special than anybody. It's just by grace. Adom keke. So if we give you the Adom and you take the advantage of the Adom to steal from us, and we have laws to make sure that we get our monies back, it must be done. And on that note, the government instituted what we call a committee to look at the 13th All Africa Games, forensic audit. The promise was that by middle of December, that forensic audit has to be ready. I am just praying that next week that forensic audit is made available
Because we will need that to proceed
It is
and take
very,
critical
very important.
decisions. I'll come
Very,
to you
very
again.
important.
I'll come to you again. Our next guest, like I said, a private legal practitioner and NPP communications team member, lawyer Kwesi Boche Jr. has joined us. Good morning.
Morning.
Good to see you, sir.
Good to be here, Kweko.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. You look amazing. I like your tie.
Thank you. Thank you. So you had Solo talking about what his thoughts are. Theft cases are something that bothers him. And of course, anytime we raise theft cases, we also have to be ready to prove that indeed A, B stole, whatever. But let me also see what you think. What you're thinking on your way here. What is one of the
Good morning to you. Good morning to Solomon. And good morning to everybody watching us this morning. I mean, I agree with Solo. I agree and disagree with him at the same time. But I agree with him that anybody or any person who the state thinks has misappropriated the state's funds should be brought to book, should be taken through, the full rigors of the law. But the most important thing is that the fact that you assume or you think somebody has stolen state monies or monies belonging to the republic doesn't necessarily mean that a person should be thrown behind bars. The Constitution has laid down procedures and processes where we need to take persons through in order to prove their guilt or otherwise.
I hope this is what is truly on your mind, and you're not saying it because Solo also said that.
Oh no, but I'm saying that I'm only trying to disagree with what Solo said. Like I said, I agree and disagree with him at the same time.
You cannot agree and disagree.
But he has just said what is on his mind. That theft cases are not something we should encourage.
That's the same
I don't think he has even mentioned any name yet.
I haven't also mentioned anybody's name. Okay. That's the same thing on my mind. I also think that anybody who has stolen state monies should be brought to book, irrespective of political party, political affiliation, because the taxpayers' money is not meant to be squandered. Mm-hmm. And so if we think that somebody has stolen state money, we should take the persons or the people through the right processes to secure their conviction or otherwise.
That's correct.
And so, also I see the bottle of water here. I don't know if it's from the previous regime or it's from the current regime. I don't know if maybe you could help me. Is it from the current regime?
This question is interesting. It's but previous. From what I'm getting, it's been here for a while.
It's been here for a while. But when are you going?
I joined the team recently. And my investigation tells me it's been here.
These are your works.
Okay, but then I think you should also take up the mantle of going around to check whether or not the state of our river bodies have changed or they remain the same. The Ghanaian people, I think GTV being the station of the nation, owe the Ghanaian people a duty to inform them about the state of our water bodies. And so now we have a new government. It's been over a year now. And so it would only be right that, you go around the country to update your water here for us to know the color of our river bodies now. It will only be fair.
It's always good to update. But let me quickly also introduce our latest. He just arrived, and to help with the discussions. And of course, that's the Chifo Ati Mokwa NDC MP. Mr. David T.D. Vondi, Akwaba.
But I say, I don't know, many people find it difficult to pronounce the name of my constituency.
So, did I do it wrong?
Kind of, but you did quite well.
Let me try again. Chifo Ati Mokwa. Or Ati, which is it?
The name is Chifo.
Chifo.
Eti Mokwa.
Eti Mokwa.
Good.
So let me do it well. Chifo Eti Mokwa.
Good.
Thanks for the education.
Yeah, so once you remember the Chifo oil palm plantation, and I think arguably is the biggest palm plantation in Ghana now. You remember Chifo Eti Mokwa. It's in the central region actually. Yeah. Thank you for introducing me. I'm grateful. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's. I asked about your thoughts, and I don't know whether I should take this as what is on your mind as regards the pronunciation of your constituency, which is dear to your heart. So we move on with our discussion. What do you think? Or you have something to say in a few seconds that we get into?
I mean, just to say good morning to everybody, all our viewers, especially my people from Trifo Etimokwa. Last, weekend was Trifo Afashe. We had a great day with the Nananum and all the stakeholders in our constituency. Just want to use this opportunity to thank everybody who came to make Trifo great once more. And we'll continue to work together to ensure that the agenda of resetting Ghana, permeates the Trifo agenda as well. And youths in Trifo get good job to do as we continue to provide for them. So good morning to everybody. And I thank all the people of Trifo. The Etimokwa Adaikese is also coming up. The Etimokwa Adaikese is also coming up. We'll continue to update all the Etimokwa people. Now we'll be there to make it great again. Good morning, my brother.
Make it great again. Etimokwa.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get straight into Interior Ministry's order for a full probe into the alleged assassination of the special prosecutor. I'll come back to Communications Director of the United Party. Solo.
Yeah, Kwaku,
SP says you want to get rid of him. Is that it?
I mean, I don't think we have to take that matter serious, honestly. Sincerity is much ado about nothing. First of all, the person that broke the news, that is Samedako.
The research director.
The research director. He himself couldn't answer very subsequent questions. He was asked when, he couldn't provide. He was asked whether there was any report to any police. He could not provide it. He was asked whether there was any investigation. He said there was kind of investigation. If there was any investigation, what was the outcome? And he strongly believed that Kisia Jabenda, with the least opportunity, will organize a press conference. There will be an assassination attempt on his life, and he will keep mute. Remember Nkwanuma. May they make crab out for the, and you will sit down and you not speak. I mean, sometimes you must take ourselves very serious as a country. The Ministry of Interior itself that issued the directive. They say initial contact, preliminary contact to Kisia Jabenda indicates that the supposed assassination took place last year during Akufo-Addo's regime, and that when he was asked whether he reported the matter to any police station, he said no. How can a law enforcement person, someone looking into corruption and corruption-related offenses, has this issue to deal with, and he will not report to the law enforcement agencies?
Just to come in a little, security persons have strategies.
My
Could it be
goodness.
a strategy to hold on with that information?
Don't let anybody convince you or deceive with anything like strategy here and there. What is strategic about this? That someone wants to take your life. The first place you call is the police. You report the matter. You understand? In any case, we have had this one too many. Remember the Kumbo's case, Benjamin Kumbo, in 2010, when he made the point that he was also, his life was also threatened. In his case, there was actually semblance of gun being shot at his Pasaka.
No, physical evidence.
Physical evidence. When we investigated, it turned out that he did it himself. You understand? People must not annoy us. You see, the fight against corruption, we are very much focused. The issue he's supposed to deal with is to go and get Kenofurata into this country. Billions of dollars we need to investigate.
Now you are thinking it's a diversionary tactic.
And we are focused. Some of us, you can't divert all of this. Because you see, we are talking, people are talking.
You are thinking that way. That's how you're saying.
No, it is you and I are duty to bring the people back on track. There have been some diversions in a couple of days. We bring the people back to track. We go after those that have looted from us. Just your back, there is a whole year, $97 million. We need to investigate. See whether or not there were corruption-related issues in there. You understand? The person that brokered the news, he himself says that he was attacked by 17 policemen. Hey, Samedako! You are such a huge personality that we needed 17 policemen to attack you. He also has not reported to any institution.
Humorously, I said, hey, that's Samson or what?
I said, you already in my mind.
No, just on the side, please.
I believe that the investigation will come to one conclusion. Nothing in there. Because if there was anything in there, he would have made it known. And I would have been the first person to support him. But you cannot tell me that it took place last year, and you have kept quiet about it. So the assassins, what it means that the assassins are still within the system and they will still be pursuing, and nobody in this country knows about it. When it is my tax revenue that is paying you. So why are you not reporting to? Did you report to the presidency? Did you report to anybody? The preliminary investigation as put out by the Interior Ministry is no. And so for me, even being given that information, there is no need to go further.
Well, so the Ministry of Interior, being an institution,
Yes.
hasn't left it there. They said, let's proceed.
What are you proceeding to go and establish? Because the man himself said he has not reported anything. It took place last year. Only him knows about this assassination together with his strategic communication person. And they claim that Sami Dakuda spoke, that broken or exposed this to say that an investigation of a sort took place.
So I'll come back to you. I want us to manage the time. Mr. Wojcik,
Yes, sir.
how is it possible that one experiences such, threats, in this case, assassinations, and seals their lip? They don't mention it to any security post. How's that possible?
Thank you
Because
very much.
Interior says we don't have anything like that.
Thank you very much. In fact, I wouldn't say much about this matter because it is the SP's word against that of the Ministry of Interior. This is a public officer saying an assassination attempt was made on his life, and the Interior Ministry is also saying that from their preliminary investigations, he didn't make any report. And so I think that let's allow the process to go on, the investigation process to go on. At the end of the day, if it turns out that the SP lied, the law will take its course because he's a public officer. He owes the Ghanaian people a duty of truth. And so I will not preempt the investigation by the Ministry of Interior. I will not say the SP lied. all the questions regarding why he didn't report the attempt whatsoever, all will be unraveled by the investigations committee or the team, set up to investigate this assassination attempt. I think that an assassination attempt is a very serious thing, and so it's not something that we should take lightly. Indeed, if that occurred, it's a security threat, because if we have a person like the special prosecutor, I do not want to situate it as a matter of Kisi Ejabe. But any person occupying that office, if that person's life is threatened,
It's a representation.
yes, absolutely. It's a very serious matter. And so let's allow the processes to go on. I do not know why the OSP's office has decided to put this information out at this very point in time. I do not know why, but maybe this is the time they
Is
feel.
it wrong?
I cannot say so. Like I have told you, I do not know the details of the attempt, and so I cannot say it is wrong, or probably I don't know when it happened. You understand? We all do not have the
But you're a
full.
lawyer,
Absolutely.
and looking at it from a legal context,
Yes.
is it the right thing to do? Because this is threat.
Lawyers speak to facts. I do not have the full facts.
But the timing of
With regards to the time the attempt occurred, we do not have any official communication to establish whether or not the attack or the attempt occurred in 2025 or in 2024. So far, all I've heard are speculations from political activists, political actors, and security experts. But there isn't any official record or any official communication from the Ministry of Interior establishing that the attempt actually occurred at X point in time. That's what I'm saying. I'll hold on for now and allow the processes to go on. After the processes, if we have to interrogate why certain things happen, we can interrogate. But for now, I do not want to engage in conjectures and hallucinations or just play around the matter. Let's wait for the full facts. Let's wait for the investigations to go on. If at the end of the day it turns out there was an assassination attempt, let's investigate. Let's arrest the supposed assassins. Let's bring them to book, so that it will not be as if our public officers are left to fight for their own lives. However, on the other hand, if it is established that there wasn't any such assassination attempt on the life of our special prosecutor, the law must also take its course. We're in this country when, you remember the Shatawale incident, when Shatawale said, I think he made a post or something regarding that, something about him. I've forgotten the exact thing he did. Later it was investigated, it turned out he lied. He was arrested. He was arrested by I think he was even charged. And so, a person of Kisie Jabin or the special prosecutors, caliber or stature, is a position of high repute. And so, if it turns out that nothing of like an assassination attempt actually happened on his life, the law, I'm sure, will take its course.
So you think it would be wrong to, as it were, treat it with a pinch of salt and say, let's not carry on with it?
No, I think let's carry on with it. I think an assassination attempt on anybody's life at all is a serious matter. You understand? So, in fact, in law, attempted murder is actually construed as murder. And so let's tackle or address this issue with the necessary seriousness. Let's allocate the necessary resources to investigate this matter. Today may be an assassination attempt on the life of the special prosecutor. Tomorrow it may be you. Tomorrow it may be me. It may be the Yoko boss. It may be even the president. It may be anybody at all. And so I think that let's address the matter. Let's investigate it. Let's arrive at a logical conclusion. Assassination attempt is not something to joke with. It is not an interesting event. So let's investigate the matter. And if need be, let's arrest the culprits and let's bring them to book.
So I'll go to Davido, Chifo Mokwa, NDCMP. Davido, so assassins, this is raising concern that there could be assassins around.
I mean, our constitution is clear about the fundamental human right of every individual to belong to any association, political parties, or whatever association you want to belong. Our fundamental human right must not be taken away from anybody. And that is what makes you a Ghanaian, first of all. And so I don't think that it would be right on my path to prescribe, if you like, or endorse any form of an alleged assassination, being in Ajabin or any other human being. There should be no justification whatsoever of that. Because like I said, Article 21 of our Constitution really allows freedom of speech and being a Ghanaian, association and all that. But you see, allegation of such nature is a very serious issue. Allegation of assassination of human life is not anything we'd have to be joking with and making, comments that cannot be substantiated. You have a situation where a whole lawyer of a good standing, I heard Martin Pebu talking about how brilliant, Kisie Ajabin was when he was in Ghana, Legon, reading law. He'd been a lecturer of the law itself and been a very good lawyer, and he's a criminal lawyer, knows the processes that must be followed when an attempt on anybody's life, including he himself, the processes that would have to go through by law, to make the allegation, investigatable, if you like. Allegation must be investigated when there is a basis for that allegation.
So two of you are going to, going on further investigation. Solo thinks it's not necessary. Nothing to worry about.
No, the point is this. Now, if you get up this morning and you go to the police station and you say, my life, is being threatened by somebody, the police will ask him few questions So you give them a lead way, some fundamental reasons why you feel that your life is at threat, somebody is after your life and all that. You must give them some fundamental reasons why you feel that these allegations must be investigated. Unfortunately, when a lawyer of good standing claims that his life is being threatened, there are assassins, after his life, but I find it not necessary to report such a very serious matter to the police, to any law enforcement, then really it makes me feel that, the substance, of the claim in itself, leave much to worry about.
As though it doesn't exist.
Whether or not there is anything of that nature at all. Again, we have a very serious country to manage. A country where still bread and butter issues are really high. A country where our water bodies have been destroyed by galamseyers. Thank God some of the kingpins are in court now that the court will be dealing with.
We might get into the gallant
all those things. All those things are things that we have to be managing.
It looks as though you've gone a bit on the left and a bit on the right.
Hold on. Again, if people of that nature, people who are so knowledgeable, people who are the actors of the law, a whole special prosecutor makes such an allegation without any basis to warrant investigation into it to see whether or not there is some level of merit in what he's saying. For me, I think that we could brush this thing off our table and move on. Because then he did not provide
so I'm asking you
any
again.
reason
to
warrant.
Do we go proceed with the investigation or not?
Well, I cannot take it away from the Ministry of Interior whether they want to investigate this or not. I respect Muntaka very well. Honorable Muntaka is a big brother of mine. I respect him. He knows that. And so if he feels that he wants to investigate that, for me, I think personally, the OSP did not provide any fundamentals for us to believe there is any such thing to even go in investigating. But I don't know what the Interior Minister knows. So whom am I to sit here and say he should not? But knowing what I know and what I've heard, there is no fundamental reason whatsoever to commit any resources of this country into investigating an allegation that has no basis, that has no link whatsoever for anybody to pass investigate. What are you going to investigate? That there is a story out there, so you go and stand by the sea and shout somebody is want to kill Ajabin, hey, where are you? How are you going to do that? Is there any basis, any reason why you... they must provide some level of credibility in the allegation.
They must provide.
Again, so because he that makes the allegation must now lead us in investigating.
So the whole idea
of committing any resources.
The whole idea of fighting corruption is brilliant, but controversies around OSP, SP. I want just 3 seconds from all of you. Some have said, let's get rid of everything. Some say, let's keep it and update it. What do you say? Then we move on to electricity and water.
Before we do that, it is important we put the matters in the right place. This is the Ministry of Interior's own press release. They say, here are some preliminary findings on the alleged assassination attempt. Initial contact with Mr. Kisi Ajabin have revealed that the assassination attempt on him, as claimed, happened before this year. Now, 2, there is no record. Are you listening? Yeah. There is no record or report of such threats against his life at any police station or at any of the state security agencies in the country. So what is the Ministry of Interior going to investigate? What are they going to investigate?
So that point has been made. You've said
for me, if they are going to investigate, but you use their private money to do that. We don't have money.
I hear you, but let's quickly do that in a few seconds from each one of you.
Your question is whether or not the Special Prosecutor's Office should be.
Yes,
should be. Well, I think that personally, I have actually perused our Constitution.
Quickly, let's do this quickly.
Again, I have not seen any provision that allow the establishment of that office. Again, so I cannot sit here and say that there is any law that establishes that position, that office, that must be entertained. I think that we have a lot of investigative institutions in this country that can take care of crime and so forth and so on. The Yoko is there, the police is there, the Attorney General's office is there. So for me, the establishment of the Special Prosecutor's Office and the things we are seeing now, where the actors of that office are seen to be protecting some individual that we believe are nation records and so forth and so on, having not seen any constitutional provision in establishing that office, with the greatest of respect, I think that leaving it in our books really will not help us anyway.
Mr. Koshiboche Jr.,
Yes, sir.
what do you think?
I think that the Special Prosecutor's Office, in fact, to be very sincere with you, I am indifferent about it because the buck stops with the president. If the president wants to...
You seem to be in the middle of everything. Objective.
You know, sometimes there are things that we do not have to do politics with. Because when it comes to holding people accountable, my brother, if you travel to the outskirts of this country, Ghana is not only Accra. People are in dire poverty. People are suffering. You go to Honorable's constituency, you tell you there are people who are unable to afford 3 square meals a day. In fact, 1 meal a day is a problem for some people.
Okay, so they
and so when it comes to questions about accountability, I think that we have to hold public officers who squander state monies accountable. However, like I've already indicated, we have to do that through the right processes. I do not think that abolishing the office of the special prosecutor is the solution. In my humble opinion, I do not think that is the solution. I think that we have to have a very good look at the office. Probably the office is facing challenges. Let's have a very good look at the office. Let's have a good look at their terms of reference. Let's look at their act itself. If it needs any amendment, it's been over 5 years. Now, I think it's about 7 to
2018?
Yeah, about 6 years or so.
Was it 2018?
Yeah, 2018. And so probably they need some amendments or whatsoever. But to be very sincere with you, and with the greatest of respect, I am actually indifferent about whether or not it should be abolished or it shouldn't be abolished.
So, from the United Party's position, we believe that there are one too many institutions that give the impression that they are fighting corruption. We believe that there has to be an alignment of all these institutions, Yoko, OSP, SHRAJ, all of them, so that we have an enhanced legislation or one legislation that is governing all these people. So that when we have issues of corruption, you know that it is this institution that we're dealing with. Then we appoint one anti-corruption czar or like the OSP, who will be independent of the Attorney General. If we cannot do this, then it's a humble plea that we scrap it and give the budgetary allocation to that office, to the Attorney General's office. Because what has the Attorney General been complaining of? Inadequate budgetary allocation. So if we have enough,
let's pump it all there.
Let's take it there so that they can even engage more qualified lawyers to be doing quality investigations to help in the fight against corruption. You know that what are we doing? We have expended close to $1 billion with the OSP's office. What are we getting in return? Anquanoma. Is that what you are looking for? That is not what we are looking for. So long as it remains, the status quo remains like this, then I'm not for it. It has to be scrapped. But if we are going to bring all the other anti-corruption institutions together and then give them that autonomy, that freedom, that independence, then I'm for it.
All right. Let's move on to electricity water tariff hike. Minority has descended heavily on the government, saying that, well, something used to be done. TUC also are ready to resist vehemently. But I'll stay on you, Solo. Is it justifiable to think that the state needs this increment, like, for whatever good reason? What do you think? It's unfair.
Well, as part of the consuming public, I will not be happy with any increment. Indeed, I have said that the levels of corruption that we witness in the energy sector, it is the reason why some of us are mad at the OSP, that we need to go in there and make sure that money stolen, assets stolen are returned. Once these assets are returned, there will not be the need for us to be, for the state to be increasing tariffs. Yeah. That is my position. I remember the cables issue with the ECG. where we were told by the former board chair, Fenyo Market, that it is a norm, it's a normal practice for people to be stealing over there and be getting away with it. So if you are a country and you know this, people are just taking our assets away for us to be paying for it, what would you call for? Then it will not be good. Now the second leg of it. You see, I like politics of truth. I don't believe in the mere fact you could use it against the government of the day, but what is the truth in this whole thing? Kwaku, you were in this country in 2022. I'm sure you were still old, and you were following the political discourse in this country. When, as a country, having mismanaged our economy, we decided to go and seek help from the IMF. Is that not the case? Now, let me tell you something here. This is the staff level agreement by the IMF. When we are done, I can share it with you. I'm sure you may even have it. The IMF, before approving the staff level agreement, mind you, the staff level agreement we are operating with was a policy or a program that was given to the IMF by the government of Ghana. So our discussions, those that led our discussions in the IMF deal, here is it. Discussions took place in Accra in September, in Washington, D.C. in October, and in Accra in December 2022. The mission held discussions with the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta, and Governor of Bank of Ghana, Ernest Addison. Now come to see what their strategy for the energy sector, so that we are clear as to why, no matter which government came to power, they would have say increased it. But we are going to sign an agreement with the IMF. So, the paragraph 31, to establish debt sustainability, the authorities have launched a comprehensive restructuring that involves both domestic and external debt. Now look at what they say with our energy situation. The large share of domestic debt and the virtually frozen domestic debt market pushed the authorities to pursue domestic debt relief additions to external debt, debt restructuring governments, medium and long term, and so on and so forth. Now, when they came to the energy, the government proposed that they will consistently be reviewing tariffs or adjusting tariffs upwards in the energy sector so that they can break the gap. That is what the government then, going to the IMF, proposed to the IMF, which proposal was accepted. So the agreement that the Ghana as a country has with the IMF, for which we were given 3 billion extended credit facility, is that we will consistently be increasing our tariffs on energy. And when you go and do this and sign for it, can you run away from it? So as a country, we agreed. Our government said that yes, we have the capacity to be paying increased tariffs. And that's why we are where we are. And that's why this government wants to force onto us to pay more. But is that the solution? Because if you want to encourage industrialization drive, consistent or continuous increment in your tariffs in terms of the energy needs will also not help. So that's where we are. So I ask you, well, from where I sit, do we allow the debt to pile at the energy sector, or we have to pay? If you are asking me, all that I will tell this government is that we must make sure they go back and collect all stolen assets over there, to make sure that they use that retrieve stolen assets or monies to pay for any increment that is necessitated here. Because you see, they have done well by stabilizing the exchange rate.
Who are the monies with? Who are we going to take the money from?
Oh,
Can you mention someone?
Oh, but if people are stealing cables and we know their whereabouts, why must we sit down? You understand? You are aware of the PDS. Don't you know the people who were involved? We are told by PricewaterhouseCoopers in somewhere 2022, 2023, that whereas ECG was collecting revenue to the tune of 15 billion, they were deliberately declaring to the entire country 10 billion, and even out of that 10 billion, they were only making available to the cash forward, waterfall or whatever cash forward mechanism 10 billion. So you ask yourself, these reductions or these deceit that were being carried out by the ECG, who are those that were involved, and where did these outstanding amounts went to? These are matters we have to investigate and bring the culprits to book, so that the Ghanaian is saved the trouble of always having to pay more. When we went to the TUC, when the government went to the TUC, what did they say? What did they convince them with before the TUC accepted the 9%? They said we are building an economy. And the decision not to increase their salaries beyond a certain threshold also emanates from the staff level agreement. Because what the government then, Nana Akufo-Addo administration, had told the IMF was that in order to deal with the huge deficit, they will not be increasing a worker's salary beyond a certain threshold. So this government was mandated to follow suit. You understand? If government or if workers have accepted that, then you can also not turn around and take back what you are giving them with your left hand with the right hand by increasing tariffs.
So you're on the minority and TUC.
Then, you see, the people that must be speaking, don't bring the minority. When you bring them in, and here again, let's differentiate between a responsible minority and an irresponsible minority. I'm a united party. What I'm saying is that the minority that is telling you, they have
perspectives.
Yes, no, but let's clear that one. The minority that is telling you that they are not happy. They were the ones that went to the IMF and told the IMF that we will be increasing tariffs on what? Electricity every year, periodically, every year.
That's a kind of ushering for me to Mr. Jr. Sounds like we weren't committing ourselves to something we're not ready for.
Thank you very much. You see, Solo makes a point. He made it in his preliminary submission, and he's just made the point again that we have to recover monies from the looters, and then he tries to situate the looters within the context of the previous administration. But you see, to be very sincere, are you aware that the cases that the Attorney General has withdrawn in court, I mean, former appointees of then President Mohammed's administration who were standing prosecution under the Eswell administration, that this Attorney General, the respected and learned Dominic Ayine, has withdrawn from courts, amounts to 10 billion Ghana cedis. The amount of, the various prosecutions, the Sagleme and all the other prosecutions, they amount to 10 billion Ghana cedis. And so if we want to have a discussion about recovering the loot, those monies are also alleged loot. So we should pay attention to that as well.
So we keep
when
shifting.
It's not about shifting. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That when we want to have a holistic conversation, let's look at recovering the loot in general, not just blaming the Eswell administration. The NPP is no longer in government. What is the interest of movement, United Party or movement for change? What is the interest? I was quiet when you were speaking.
Yeah,
I was quiet.
you
said a lot of things I disagreed with you. I wrote them down. Yes. So let me go.
You are right. Move on.
So let me go.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And so, Kweku, I do not know the interest of movement for change or United Party.
Yes.
Movement for change has metamorphosed into
United Party.
I do not know the position of former movement of change, now United Party, in this whole matter, and why they are always on the MPP, bashing the MPP, always holding the MPP,
we are discussing
always. Oh, Solo, I was quiet when you were speaking. If you do this, you distort the conversation. Let's not
Just go. Yes, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted.
And so I do not know why they always want to blame the Eswell administration. We are talking about President Mohammed's government increasing tariffs. We are talking about President Mohammed's government imposing hardship on the Ghanaian people.
Now don't forget.
And then you blame the Eswell administration. You see, with the greatest of respect, the poverty of my brother's submission is that if you look at the IMF staff agreement in 2022, the agreement between the government of Ghana and the IMF did not impose tariffs. I have read. Come on, relax.
No.
Relax.
Okay.
I have read.
Just check it out.
I have read the staff agreement.
I will send it.
I have read the staff agreement in extenso.
All right.
What the agreement suggests is that it gave government the laxity to impose tariffs. The wording of the agreement is that government may, it didn't say government shall impose tariffs. No, come on, hold on. Which means that government has the flexibility to impose or not to impose the tariff. That is the first point. Again, on January 4th, 2024, okay, January 4th, 2024, this staff level agreement was reached in 2022. On January 4th, 2024, President Mahama, then in opposition, the opposition leader or the NDC candidate then, mentioned or stated categorically that when the good people of this country have mercy on him and vote for him, he is going to reduce utility tariffs. He said it on 4th January 2024. You can Google and check it out. And so he knew the position Ghana was in at the time he made those statements. Because this staff level agreement you referred to was reached in 2022.
Was he in
But
power
in
when he made those statements?
2024, President Mahama, knowing all the circumstances of our economic conditions, stated that when Ghanaians vote for him, he is not going to increase utility tariffs. Ghanaians trusted him. They voted for him. What is he doing now? He's insulting Ghanaians. This increase in utility tariff is an insult to the intelligence of Ghanaians. Because you promise something, and then you do otherwise.
Yes, because sometimes.
And this is one of the reasons why.
Probably he met challenges that.
Then he should come and apologize. Because you make a promise to the Ghanaian people. So far in 2025 alone, this government has increased utility tariffs for close to 25%. Because they did it in the first, I think in the second quarter, it was 14%, and now they are doing 9%. You understand? And so clearly this government, what this government is doing is only to impose hardship and unnecessary, to impose some unnecessary hardship on Ghanaians. I think that the utility tariff adjustment is unnecessary. Solo talks about government not having money. I don't know if now he's also a government communications
Did I say
person.
that? No, if you're quoting, you quote me.
When we were speaking about the OSP matter, you said it. When you were speaking about the OSP matter, you said the Ministry of Interior should use their private monies to investigate the OSP and that government doesn't have money. You said it. I was here. You said it. Please, you said it. You said government doesn't have money.
You go, I'll clear all these things.
Government doesn't have money. But government has money to, just to digress a bit, to purchase a Falcon 6X at $60 million. Please. Solo also makes the point that government has increased salaries by 9%. Are you aware in the 2026 budget, government has increased the salary of presidential staffers and persons who work at the Jubilee House by 67%. 67%. You increase that of public sector workers, including your good self, Kweku, by 9%. And then in the 2026 budget, government projects to increase the salary of Jubilee House presidential staffers by 67%. So, I mean, I basically think that this government is insensitive to the plight of Ghanaians. This government is trying to shift their failures to mobilize or to raise revenues onto Ghanaians. I think that this tariff increment is unfair. I think that judging President Mahama from his promise, he has insulted the intelligence of Ghanaians. I think that he hasn't been fair to Ghanaians. I think that he hasn't been truthful to Ghanaians. And these are some of the reasons why Ghanaians are beginning not to trust politicians. Because the politician in opposition will tell you one thing. He comes to government and he does the extreme opposite of what he promises. Politicians must learn to hold their promises and must learn to honor their promises. You don't promise to reduce utility tariff and increase it by 25% in government. You don't do that. If you do that, you have been a dishonest person. You don't do that to the Ghanaian people. It's unfair. It is grossly unfair to even increase salaries by 9% and increase utility by 25%. I mean, with the greatest of respect, what sense does this make? What sense does this make? I am urging the labor unions and the TUC to reject this tariff adjustment by the government, because it is a deliberate attempt to steal directly from the people's pocket. They are stealing directly from the people's pocket. And David, this is unfair.
David, this man is accusing you that you are stealing from the people's pocket. You just heard him.
You know, there is this other young man who is an MPP, man, Dr. Bano. He's now lecturing at GIMPA. He's my lecturer. Dr. Bano, he's an MPP. And we've been on TV sets, we've debated. One very intelligent young man. And my good friend here, Butchie, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you have a responsibility to reshape the destiny of your party and to think of, bringing the lost image of your party back. So when you have opportunities like this, you try and let the love of the people flow through you. When you say things like this, you don't really get the people's attention to think that the MPP is really interested in rebuilding, because it's not good for this country to have only one party. I mean, we're talking about the increment of utility bill, where, of course, 1997, I think Act 538 of the Public Utility Regulatory Commission allows the PRC to adjust tariffs, of services that is so defined by Constitution. We all know what happened where you were coming to power 2016 and everything that your presidential candidate then, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, said. We all saw on stages when they raised gallon of petrol, when the petrol was now then selling a whole gallon, was selling 14 Ghana cedis. We knew all that he said. He came to power and petrol, a liter sold at almost 20 cedis. We saw all that. Now you've seen a government today where Ghanaians are lucky to have His Excellency John Dramani Mahama back and reshaping the destiny of this country. And you sit on television and say he's lying, he's disservice, all kind of words. I think that is unfair. Nobody generally in this world want to pay tariff. Nobody want to. Nobody. But you see, you'd have to ask yourself that are you getting value for what you're paying for? You're a very seasoned journalist. You want to tell the Ghanaian people whether or not that canker called Dumso have been taken care of by this government or not.
Electricity isn't bad, but water.
So the point is that, so again, you are saying to me there is a very massive improvement. That electricity is now stable. Everybody's going by their duties and their activities. No problem with power whatsoever again in Ghana. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Okay?
But there are issues with water.
I mean, we all know that we have problem with water. We're trying to solve again. If you look at the illegal mining issues that actually affect our water bodies, where the treatment plants are breaking down because of how dirty and the dirtability level of our water bodies are. We all know that, and these are the reason why we need to, go in there and solve it. And you see the NIMO, what they are doing now today. There is a massive improvement in the fight against Galamsey, trying to clear all the illegal miners from our water bodies and all that. How do we do that? We need money to do it. In any case, who destroy our water bodies? Some of the kingpins are in court today. The administration where the president of the Republic of Ghana then, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, could go and stand on a stage platform, national platform, and endorse Galamsey. These are the things we saw. Today, we have a president who is committed in calling his own to be investigated the moment allegation of illegal mining is made against them. We have a situation where today, Ghana is seeing leadership that is committed to fighting Galamsey. I mean, for me,
okay, so
if we have to pay a little more,
that's where I was going.
to get our electricity stable, the way we're seeing it, where everybody can go, and do whatever you want to do, have electricity, no buying of generators here and there. If we can continue to fight Galamsey and make sure our water bodies are clean and we can get good water to drink, and we can pay a little more for that, generally, nobody want to pay tariffs. Nobody want to pay tax. But the point is that we would have to interrogate rather the benefit we're getting from government on what money we're giving to government in terms of tariffs and taxes.
That's a form of justification.
And that is what we have to be thinking about.
That's a form of justification.
Again,
and yet the rate of increase.
Again,
we measure it vis-a-vis how the people are feeling. Is it really? Is it harsh?
Again, that is not harsh in itself, because we look at it from this angle. We were buying petrol a liter at almost 20 Ghana cedis. Today, a liter of petrol is 12 Ghana cedis. How many savings are we making and putting in Ghanaian people's pockets? So if we are asking for few of that to support tariffs and to make sure that your electricities are kept on and the power is not going off, what's wrong about that? Number two, if you look at how dollar was being purchased in this country under Akufo-Addo government, we were buying dollar almost 18 Ghana cedis. Today, even at rush hours and rush period, where dollar demand for dollar is even high because we are in Christmas season, we're buying dollar at 11 Ghana cedis. How many savings are we making? And we're saying that we want the stability of this electricity power that we're seeing today should continue, and that we should be able to pay some little adjustment on these tariffs to make sure it happens. And somebody sit here and say government is taking money from the people and all that. Really? When we're reducing the dollar from almost 18 Ghana cedis to 11 cedis, where you are making 7 Ghana cedis on a dollar into your pocket, that means that if you are buying $100,000 at 1.8 million Ghana cedis at the time, today you are buying at 1.1 million Ghana cedis, $100,000. You have 700,000 Ghana cedis put in your pocket by His Excellency Mahama. And you sit here and say that tariffs that, if we are paying tariffs and we're not getting value for it, I would sit here and say, no, we're not going to do that. But we're paying tariffs that we're having value for. And you want to sit here and I'm sorry. The MPP, I'm sure they've not been able to wake up from the defeat yet, and I think that it's about time. A year is gone.
I wasn't expecting that we'll go into restructuring their party and all of that. We're talking about the tariffs.
Because there's no justification. We need dialogue, okay?
David,
we need dialogue.
We're running out of time.
Just a point. Yeah. We need dialogue to manage this economy, to make sure, yes, we are doing well, but we can do better. I agree. But you see, MPP is not an opponent, an option in that dialogue, because we saw what they did with our economy. Do you know that our tariffs that were paid, that must go to GRA, that Oforiatta created an account at all commercial banks that they should pay the money into, and the Auditor General's report is indicating that there is an alleged 52 billion Ghana cedis paid to an unknown account that today have never been traced. 52 billion Ghana cedis. Aren't you shaken? You're not afraid? Talking about these people in terms of tariffs?
Well, so what are you saying? I'm afraid of time. So let's quickly get into. I'm sure we'll make time for those things later, but let's also get into another matter. We shifted. Rebound.
No, you don't have the time. So why would you shift rather than we deal with certain?
But what I have is equally important.
Lies,
but you've said that. You know that from the beginning. Yes. When I asked what was on your mind, you made all those comments. So let's move on. So we can lies in this country. So we can exhaust what we have. It's important.
All right.
So the rerun. You think it's not important? So the rerun at Pandai.
No, I said it the last time I was here. Mm-hmm. That so far as I was concerned, the course decision is that there has to be a rerun.
Yeah. Okay.
And once there is a rerun, every political party that took part in the last elections must avail their candidates to take part. It's unfortunate that the United Party wasn't around. We would have contested, and I can tell you that we would have won with superior messaging. I see the removed MP feeling jittery, and it's rightly so. It makes sense because you see, his party is in disarray, and you cannot win an election with a divided or disarrayed party, and that is why this will have values here and there. I believe that he must organize himself. The NPP as a political party must organize themselves and go. In any election, there are two outcomes. Either you win or lose. When you win, it's fine. When you lose, it's fine. It's part of our democracy. We all want to build Ghana. They must go there and go and give their message to the people of this country and try to convince them. The only challenge that I see is that their presidential race has also brought an untold hardship in terms of the messaging, in terms of alignment. You know, the MP that has been taken out has aligned to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign. And you know, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign has been centered on the fact that anything to do with the North, he has the capacity to bring the vote. So what I've heard the other camp say, the Bryans, the Duchuns, the Kennedy camp say, is that all along, Mahmoud Bawumia has been telling the entire world that he has what it takes to win any seat, all the votes from the northern part of this country. So they are saying that this one there, Doc, is in your bosom. Go and bring the seat. But I've been on the grounds, I've been in Panda recently for a private business, and I can say that judging any last minute hiccup, the seat is likely to go to the other side. That is unfortunate, but that's part of life. Today, the Ghanaian is giving the NDC all the seats.